Growing up in Slovakia, there was two cars that I had as a kid that belonged to my dad that were still in fairly decent shape. One of them I broke because it was a Mayor's Manx Corgi WhizzWheels, and the windshield breaks off very easily. And the other one was this exact pink Bizzarini Manta. Or Manta, excuse me. Manta. And I don't know why I always confuse the two. So it's Italian design. It's one of the early wedge cars, really. But look at this. It is very distinctly pink metallic. Now the thing is, my dad had this in Slovakia somehow. And I don't know how. Whether it was a prototype, there's a lot of flashing on the steering wheel. Whether this was some kind of a factory prototype or some special edition thing, I have no idea. But since, having grown up and still collecting this stuff and, getting curious about them, I never saw another one stateside. So then one day I started looking on eBay and I found this one. I got it in the mail. And sure enough, it's just pink enamel. And even the lower layer is pink enamel where somebody fixed it. And then below that is like an orangey pink. But once again, no metallic. And then I got this one that almost looks like it might have been metallic pink. But it's so rough that it's hard to determine. And the more I look at it, the more it looks, again, enamel, not pink. Not pink metallic like this one. So then I got another one, which is same as this one. Same basic idea. Same basic paint. Pretty worn. Not much left of it. And I restored it. And I thought about doing it in the turquoise color that the concept car was painted. But I thought, being an Italian car, it would be pretty cool to have it be red. And then the next one I'm going to do in that wild turquoise. It's definitely on the agenda. But if anybody knows anything about these possible variations and, why it is that there's such a discrepancy between these two, actually all three. Again, this one I repainted, so that one doesn't count. But I'm just curious. I also wonder if they ever did make a turquoise one. I've never seen one. Searching on eBay, I've never seen a turquoise. That very specific seafoam green color. I'd never seen it, so I'm assuming that they didn't, even though that's what the concept was. And later, I believe it got repainted silver metallic. But if you don't know, the irony of this car, for me, there's only a few people that know this, that I've told this story to. So this is my first, other than the Mayor's Manx buggy, it was my first or second, depending on how you count, diecast car of all the tens of thousands that I have now. I am also obsessed with the McLaren F1 ever since that came on in the 90s. Now this is a concept that had a central driving position in 1968. It had a central driving position with two flanking on a passenger on each side. Look at that. And see this engine back here? That is a 327 Chevy small block. I owned a 1968 Camaro in my 20s that originally had a 327 in it, and I had a Crate 350 that had been installed. So yeah, this car has a lot of, it's very sentimentality for me is there, but as is the nostalgia, of course. But anyway, let's throw I got this Corgi hauler from a gentleman that comes to the trade nights that I've been buying a lot of stuff off him. He's a bit older than I am, and he was around when a lot of this stuff was in stores, and it just has amazing stuff he brings to the trade nights, and I got this hauler from him for a very, very reasonable price. So let's stack these on there since they're both Corgis. How cool is that? this whole Volvo hauler. I love it. And it has a hitch on the back where apparently you can add an additional hauler to it. That's wild. So in order to empty this thing out, we drive these two off. This is next level, that they have these little tabs to stop the cars from rolling off. And then we pick this up and slide it forward. Oh, whoops. Okay. Alright, no harm. No harm is befallen. How cool is that? Don't act like you're not impressed. I love that all of these are Corgi. It does make it pretty cool. Now the detail on this thing, it's awesome.